today with a new topic of discussion. Check on in. Hello, hello, hello. Can anyone hear me in YouTube world? I'm not going to hesitate because obviously this topic will obviously draw attention from the diabolical holographic grays and other grays that are overlays and otherwise. So let me get into this discussion. I don't see anyone here. They're going to block it. I see. If you're here, when you step in, put a 13 because I don't see anyone here. Hey, my loves. Hey, Kay. So I'll make a separate video on another topic, but I want to get into the topic here is we're going to talk about Elon Scum and his nefarious technology that is meant to harness especially harness energy from the Niburians and the Niburian seedlings who are here ready for the ascension process or the extraction. Big up to everyone. Happy New Year's, blissful New Year's to everyone. New Year's is tomorrow for those who acknowledge that New Year's begins with the Gregorian spring equinox. So for those who are, getting ready for the new energies, you know that spring is actually the actual holiday, the actual time when New Year's begins. And do know it generally tends to begin when Aries is hot off the layer. Can everyone hear me? Can you put a 13 if you hear me okay? Someone just said they can't hear me and I can't stay. I'm not going to stay on long. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So let's get in conversation. Let me just put this out here first so I can spell the trolls and the nefarious ones and the beings that come here to cipher or to extract information that aren't in alignment with it. I rebuke you. I reject you. I rescind any contract that has been made unbeknown to me consciously. And I send back everything of all your intent back to you and your family. So if you come here with low intent, you will have the reciprocation of whatever your intent is coming in here. So it's okay if you are here just to be respectful and to honor the information and not necessarily agree. You are welcome to stay in this particular transmission. But if you are nefarious and you are diabolical and you are one of the ones that I have rebuked, I am spelling you and I am cursing you. And everything you bring into here, let it go back to you and yours. Times 3. Anyway, so let's get in the conversation about Elon Musk, Scum. The intel I'm telling you is that from what I've come to the awareness is that Elon Musk is a gray. He is a full-fledged gray alien that is cloaking itself as a humanoid, as many of them do. His intent was to take over forms of technology and to utilize that technology to not only field in low field elf waves and to keep the maintenance of the Gray's overlay here on the planetoid you call Earth, which I know is to be the dark side of the moon. He is also utilizing that technology. All Tesla technology is meant to suppress and to harness, suppress, to subjugate those who aren't part of the Gray's group, and to harness energy from the Niburians. So for those who are connected to, Tesla technology, if you notice, a lot of this gas gouging and gas initiating was to give people the incentive to start to get some Tesla cars and to, utilize more Tesla low field, low elf waves, alien, reverse alien, gray technology. And it's a way to survey you and also a way to control you. Because again, if you start using Tesla cars and they don't like you or they intend to try to suppress you or control you, it's so easy to push a button and control your car when it's electronic, when it's not independently driven, when it doesn't require gas. They basically, even the Willy Wonka, League of Doom, even the Popo, can start your car with a button, you know, because they have control over the electronics. It's a totally electronic car, and it's built on taking low elf waves in order to field it in. And all of the the technology, and this is from my own research, has a way of lowering people's immune systems, especially those who are not connected to the grays. Elon Musk is a gray. And if you think any different, even if you didn't know he was a gray alien, you know that he is part of the Dark Kabbalists and the League of Doom Brotherhood. How do I know this? Because he's in the Bilderberg department. He's in the billionaires, and you know that B in illions, B ill, anything with mill, you know, millions is also the same thing as billions. Be ill is billions. Billionaires are all sick and mentally ill. And million, which is M, represents the 13th letter, if you didn't know that, is millions. They're also ill. So millionaires and billionaires, by the denotion of even taking on that frequency or that kind of that sector, they all are mentally ill. They are all connected to the dark Kabbalists. They are all signed, whether they signed the blood oath, whether they are genetic offsprings of the hybrids of dark beings here who have progenerated a low field since we have started or been on this planetoid, this holographic planet. Elon Scum is one of them. His technology is harmful. It is hurting people energetically, and it is meant to pull your energy. So I'm just giving a little warning for those who are deciding there are other forms of technology that you can create yourself that would make it just as permissible for you to drive into and for you to be able to journey this holographic plane of existence. There's saltwater fuel that they have banned many people from recognizing. And you do know that UFOs, majority of UFOs get their energy or fuel their ships with salt water. That's why they hover over the oceans in order to fuel and to power their ships. Okay, we can do the same. And big up to everyone on the Zumbi and also my Telegram group and also my Patreon group who were sharing the video of the Brazilian man who was powering his vehicle via salt water. And also big up to the man who's disappeared many years ago. For some of you who remember, there was a man who was powering his car through water, with water, salt water, and he drove all around the country. This was roughly around 12 to 13 years ago. We assume that they took him out, probably killed him, because he's disappeared. He created a car that was totally fueled on water. It was a hydro car, and he drove around the country. It was wonderful. Many of us from that sector remember this man. He was a wonderful man, maybe a middle-aged lunar male, who was just wonderfully sharing this technology and really excited about it. And unfortunately, because Willy Wonka and his League of Doom like to utilize low field technology in order to control us and to suppress us from being able to be independent or sovereign, unfortunately, this man has disappeared. But there are others now, especially in other countries, who are utilizing their ancient technology that they've been able to extract from their cellular memories and be able to power their vehicles via salt water. So for those who are a little concerned about the hiking of the gas, we shouldn't be using fossil fuel because it does hurt the plants and other, well, it doesn't hurt the plants, it hurts us. You know, plants absorb carbon monoxide, and that's their food source. A lot of the plants here, you know, a lot of them are enslaved or genetically homogenized. I don't know how many plants here are actually plants that are healthy, but you know, needless to say, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. So I just wanted to put the warning out. Also, I wanted to let you know that they have changed the way that you can see things and perceive things. Many of us who wear glasses or contacts, also I feel that a lot of the so-called V's, I can't say it, you know, when you have a baby, they give your baby V's, okay, were intended and totally created to shut down our ability to see properly, to have 20/20 vision. And what they did is, why they did that is so that you would be codependent on wearing their lenses, their glasses. So you would have to see what they wanted you to see. And if you are, I just found this out, so I have to put this out there because I remember telling it, and I remember telling and sharing this a while ago. So again, when I get an intel and it changes or something, I found out something new, I will share something new. But the blue blocking screens is a setup. How did I find out it's a setup? Years ago when I got my new contacts. Anybody who wears contacts, I know I'm going all over the place. I'm talking about Elon Musk, but I'm talking about the things that are created in order to keep us bound and suppressed. So I remember years ago when I got my new contacts. I wear contacts. Many of you know I wear glasses. I call myself a geek because I look like a geek, okay? And it's interesting that the people who tend to be the smartest tend to require glasses. I don't know if you think that's by chance, right? I'm not saying I'm the smartest. I'm just saying a lot of my brethren who were in the scientific field and doctors all wear glasses. Why? Anyway, just fun fact. I just something I've just noted. I got my contacts, and for the first time, they had blue tint on my contacts. So I remember at the time, this is years ago. I remember at the time, this is before I had my babies. So this has got to be well over 15 years ago. I remember at the time I asked the obstetrician, why do you have blue tint on my lenses? Now, this is before the concept of blue blockers for the screens. This is before cell phones were what they were today. I got to note that to you because I want to share that with you. So this isn't the time when they would have said, oh, that's to block the light coming off of your cell phones or your computers, off your tablets or off your laptops. It was before that. So I got to tell you that because it'll change the narrative of what they were trying to say it was meant for. Because nowadays, if you have the blue tint on your contacts or glasses, they're saying it's protecting you from your cell phone. But that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm just letting it's a full-fledged lie. Okay? They had blue tint. So I asked, why do I have the blue tint? Oh, so when you drop your contacts on the floor, you can find them. Before, if they were clear, it's very difficult. So it kind of made sense. It gave a practical reason to put a tint on the contacts. I wasn't happy with it because I do realize even at the time, because I've been woke. I did realize at the time I didn't like having contacts that had any tint on it, because even if that was intended to be the reason, there's always another reason that's more diabolical connected to them changing something unbeknown to us or not requested by us as the consumers. Let's go fast forward. Those of us who have technology protectors, like I have an EMF case right now. I have diodes on my phone to kind of protect my energetic field and disallow from the surplus of radiation that comes off of your technology that you use in the palm of your hands. The fact of the matter is, they know us, they know what we do, they know what we're going to do, they know how we're going to protect ourselves. So they create these false protection narratives or things or tools so that we flock to them and we utilize it on their behalf. If you notice now, when you go and get your glasses, they're like, oh, we can add blue blocker glasses. I even went to go get my daughter's glasses, and they said, oh, we have it for free. Before, you used to have to pay for it, but it's free. So most people wouldn't even question, like, oh, wow, we get something for free, because that is the way that they lure you into doing their dark deeds. They lure you. Oh, it's free. So you say to yourself, oh, it's free. Oh, goodness. I'm getting something. There isn't anything for free. Willy Wonka and his League of Doom won't give you anything for free. They fluorinate your water for free. They geoengineered your food for free. They scour the skies and with tons of barium and aluminum for free. They leach all kinds of diabolical chemicals and pesticides all on your plants and in your waterways. There isn't anything they do for free that's positive for us. Make sure when you get your contacts and your glasses and take off the blue blockers, I found a purple screen cover now. It's a mirror screen cover, so it's a mirror. So now I reflect everything back to it. I had to find that out the hard way and figure out, and now my energetic field feels even better because I don't have these blue blockers on my phone that was supposed to be protecting my energetic field from this screen, perpetuating that on top of me. But as soon as I got rid of that blue screen protector, I started to feel better. As soon as I took off the blue contacts with the blue field on it, I started to feel better. I started to see differently, and I could see, but now you can see. And also do know that those who are highly melanated, who have a high amount of concentration of melanation, whether your concentration of melanation is on your organs solely and doesn't necessarily leach totally on your skin like the Asiatic, big up to the Asiatics in the house, or those who are more melanated, whose melanation leaches onto the surface of the skin to protect them from all kinds of, radiation, all forms of gamma radiation, what have you, okay, from the fake sun. Do know that we are nocturnal, that there is a sun that's supposed to be at night that probably came. It's the black sun. They call it the black sun. I think it's at night. I don't quote me on that. That's my theory. I always tell you when I know something for real and things that I theorize. I theorize that there used to be a black sun because I know that we require a lot of vitamin D. And also we got to change things because who's telling us we're lacking vitamin D and where vitamin D comes from? We got to be careful with that. Willy Wonka gives all of the narratives of nutrition, everything that we require for our nutritional staples. So how do we know anything they tell us is real? How do we know it's vitamin D that we lack? Maybe it's something else we lack because we stay up all day and we sleep at night. You do know the darkest animals, the leopard, the raccoons, all dark animals who have a lot of melanin generally tend to be nocturnal. You do know when you take pictures of those from Niburu, they have the gold glaze over their eyes, not the red. Those who have red glaze over their eyes, those are day walkers. Those are people that have probably little to zero melanation on their eyes, and they actually have red when you take pictures of them. Red eye. Those are another species of beings that are here. I'm talking about the Niburians and those connected to the night. They tend to have a glaze over their eyes. So when you take a picture of them, big up to the Sea Star who shared a picture. I can't say because she gave it to me with some discretion, and I want to keep her confidentiality. But she did send a picture of someone she knows who's an O positive and took pictures of their eyes were luminous white, and others had a luminous gold when you took pictures of them at night. So we're nocturnal. And I would really challenge you, those who are O positives, or no, actually it's not O positives, it's all those who have a high amount of melanation, including Asiatics, to start to take off your glasses at night and see how well you can see. Don't take off the contacts with the blue field, take off the glasses that have the blue blockers because they're trying to block you from seeing things. I want you to tell me what you see. Some of you see beings in the other dimensions. Remember when John X Army was saying that O positives had stigmas with their eyes because they can see interdimensionally? And how many of you O positives or positive Rus have the ability to see interdimensionally and see spirits or beings from other realms interdimensionally? I'm not saying others don't. Let me state this. I'm talking about those who are more from O positive, serpentine beings, nega. Tell me if you can see interdimensionally into the other realms when you take all of your fake eyes off. Just let me know. Tell me if you can see the beings from the corner of your eyes. Tell me if you can see some of the beings that are hovering above you. Tell me if you can see the fake birds that have technology, that are bio birds, that are Borg birds, that aren't real, that are meant to survey us. Tell me what you see. Tell me if you see the lights in the sky. Tell me if you see the fake screen on your skyways. Okay. It may not be linked to just O positive. I just say that because I know specifically O positive, that is what we're able to do. So I went off on a tangent. Okay. So let me just say this. The Greys have created technology to harm positive Rooses on this planet. It's specifically positive Rooses. With the safflower, they've geoengineered, they've terraformed the food, they've terraformed the environment to attack and suppress and harvest off of the others. I want you to truly pay attention to the foods. Many of us, because tomorrow is the spring equinox, which is literally New Year's, the real New Year's, a lot of us have been having stomach issues because food isn't being required anymore. And many of us have felt stomach issues like slow digestion because our ancestors have now returned and Niburu and other beings are here. And food isn't the way that we were supposed to take in nutrition or fuel, because food was supposed to be fuel, y'all. And for the last 20 or 30 years, food has been a chemicalized poison that has been geoengineered and created in order to suppress and control our minds, body, and spirit. And for those of you who come from, again, O positive, I speak from those who are positive because that's what I am. Also know that the reason why O positives are having the hardest time with inflammation and otherwise from eating geoengineered food is because they created food to suppress and cause harm to you personally. Everyone I know who's awake, I'm not talking about the sleeper cells. I'm talking about people I know that are awake, and they're not all B's, A's, they're everybody, they're across the board. Anybody I know that's awake, it doesn't matter if they're negative, positive, or what have you, they're all having stomach issues. And then we big up to those who are joined us on our amazing Zoom bees. Zoom bees, we decided before the spring equinox to do a intermittent fast, meaning that we would only eat one time a day and mostly liquid. And I found that most of you, if not all, felt a lot better. And for those of you who are O positive, we tend to get a little thicker because we're not supposed to be eating. We're mostly Anunnaki, or if you aren't Anunnaki, you come from beings that didn't require food outside. We are autonomous. We can, that's why when you see the earthquake in Haiti, where a lot of them are O positive, and they were caught under buildings for days on hand, they hadn't any requirement for food or water. They were self-sustaining. So be careful calling people fatty and saying things like that, because remember, at the end of the day, if all the food goes out and everything, and there isn't anything required, my body has all necessary to make me exist without anything. Remember, I talked to you years ago about the genetic quality of having a big bum bum. A big bum bum is, people are talking about it, and a lot of women go and get the big bum bum surgery with all kinds of chemicals, or I don't know what they put in it. What do they put in their bums? They put silicone. I don't know what they put in their bums. But it's interesting that that was something that was being required or emphasized, and most people didn't know the genetic benefit of having a big bum bum. Having a bigger bum, and you have to look at where the big bum bum is. Not all women of color have big bums, okay? It's women from dry areas where there isn't a lot of water. I told you that that quality is like that of a camel. A camel has humps. In those humps is a stockpile of water, so they can walk in the desert for long periods of time without a necessity to have drink. People just think that you have genetic qualities, and because Willy Wonka and his League of Doom create all these narratives of false beauty, things that are beautiful, things that are wonderful, things that are considered standards of beauty. To have a bigger bum bum is to mean that you are stockpiled with water. To have thicker bodies mean that if there was any sort of thing where there wasn't water or food, you are autonomous. You can live without requirement of food. There are people that can't live a day Their metabolism is so fast that they can't even live. Sorry. They can't even live hours without eating or requiring liquids. So it isn't a negative quality if you have a big bum bum. Please, and then nor is it a sexual thing either. You know what I mean? Got to be careful. They sexualize it, they pervert it. It's not what it is. It's literally, if you have a big bum, you are a stockpiler of water. You can self-sustain yourself. So those people, some people who are living under the rubble in Haiti during the earthquake, they were able to live sometimes 20 days under those rubble without rescue. And when they were rescued, they were surprised they were living. I wasn't surprised. Those who are working a scientific, heredity field aren't surprised. You know why? Because we know what that physiological benefit is for. We know that that is for reserves. That's your reserve of liquid and water. So some people who are experiencing water building up in their body, it could be inflammation that's causing that, but it also could be your body preparing yourself for a time where you didn't have enough nutrition or things that would be available to you that are healthy. So you're self-sustaining. So you're basically autonomous in your in your ability to live without requiring anything outside of yourself. Remember, we are supposed to be autonomous or sovereign in our bodies. That's why, when the colonists who are genetically homogenized, they aren't natural. How do I know that the colonists aren't natural? Because they can't live under the sun. They aren't able to absorb the gamma radiations and transmute it. Where did you come from? Everything born on the planet has all the protection it needs. It doesn't require clothing. So when y'all call me a pervert for not wanting to wear a brassiere, wanting my tuts to touch the sun because your breasts are solar panels, as if I'm a pervert for saying that, because breasts have been sexualized by perverts who like to drink the milk from other animals' breasts. Okay? There are people who like to drink other species' milk. So they've sexualized the whole dairy thing, and they've sexualized breasts. Breasts are meant to breastfeed. And also they're meant to be solar panels to take in the sun. That's why when you go to places that are high, the women aren't wearing tops and they're healthier. They don't have osteoporosis when they get older. They don't get breast cancer. They're healthier because their breasts are touching the solar energy. They're being filled with not only nutrition, they're being filled and with energy, like a solar panel. But they've demonized women and sexualized breasts, so now you can't walk around topless without men thinking that that's a sexual apparatus on you, or demonizing you for wanting to do so. We're supposed to have our full-on breasts. That's why men are healthier in places like Florida, hot weather, because they are allowed to have their solar panels touch the sun. When you see men go jogging, their nipples are getting all kinds of sun and they're healthier. Ever look at a man in California or the sunny states where he's running every day outside, he's getting fresh air and his nipples are look how healthy he is. Look how strong he is. But if we do that, we're demonized and we're sexualized. Y'all, we got to wake up. The Greys are running the show with their technology. If you utilize technology, know that you can utilize it in the way it's beneficial for you. Know that everything that is created isn't created for the minorities, and it's not minorities, it's those who are leaving. They've basically created everything to tether people to this realm, and also to make you hijackable, and also to harvest your energy. If it's being promoted, you should refrain from doing anything with it. If it is something that they're offering for free, you should question the narrative or the reason why they're doing it. I was supposed to talk about a different topic today, but I don't have time to talk about it because I was going to talk about the connection between there's a lot of grays on these people. I notice that every time they walk out, the grays are attached to these people and you can see it on them. I'm sorry, I'm noticing a gray on this man. He walked by and you can see like the static. Anybody who take off your contacts and your glasses, look at the static amongst them. That's how the grays look. So when you look at people's auric field, look from the side and watch it. You'll know when the grays are above them because the grays have this static. It's like a weird static above their heads or on the side of them. That means they have a gray overlay on, and the grays are all over the place. They have gray hybrids, and gray hybrids are generally people who look like they don't have any. They're really gray, pasty, and they haven't any lips. Their lips are really, really paper thin. That's why you get all these surgeries to get big lips, because they want to cloak. They want to cloak the grays. Grays don't have lips. You know, remember, grays don't have, the original grays didn't have mouths. So they basically slit their mouths to make them look like humanoids. So that's why their lips are so thin, because they didn't have lips. Those are like slit. They're slit. They're slit in their faces. So they have to get Botox and all that. Not Botox. What is that stuff? Fillers and all this stuff in their mouths, because that's part of their genetic, it's the genetic quality, but it's we consider it a deformity, because it's something that is connected to not being connected to the earth, or not being connected to the realm that many of us come from, that we would consider to be earth. But I'm sorry I was all over the place. I hope this was helpful. I don't know. Sometimes I come on and make a video and I'm all over because I want to tell you so much in such a short period of time. But I just wanted to say, hey, everybody, I hope you're well. I don't like to bark this information because I kind of want to tell you, but let me know if this is, something that you know or understand, and also let me know if this is something that you're seeing. I want to know who has Tesla technology, and tell me how you feel when you get in the technology that's Tesla. Tell me how you feel. Tell me if you feel your energy is being zapped. Tell me if you feel more energized. Tell me if it's connected to your blood type, because I can pretty much tell if it's connected to your blood type. I would love to know your take on this, but I do want to let you know that anyone who's a billionaire or a millionaire, they are all sick in their head. They're sociopaths. Just the fact that they are attached to 13 ill and 13 ill, whether it's the M, which is a 13, or 13, which is the B, which is a 1 and a 3 pushed together. They're still sick. So stop worshiping these people, because if you notice, when people become millionaires, look at young Pharaoh. He claimed to become a millionaire, and as soon as he did, he got a tattoo of the Eye of Ra, which you should never do unless you're living righteous. Let me tell you, the Eye of Ra isn't something that you can wear on yourself and just have that banner on you. If you wear that, it sees the inside of you, and it also projects the outside of you. So if you aren't living righteous, or you're coming from a very nefarious field, that eye will turn you insane. Anyone who's rocking the eye, if they aren't, and also the eye is usually connected to the female. So usually males who wear that Eye of Horus, unless they're balanced with the meridians of male and female, they wear that, they will become mentally ill. But as soon as he became a so-called millionaire, look how ill he became. Look how mentally ill he started to truly display himself. That isn't something that you should want. You should always accept abundance, but being connected to fiat, a high amount of fiat, which is spelled, fiat is spelled, will bring on mental illness, because it's connected to the dark Kabbalists, and it's all spelled. Like I've talked to you before, the majority of people who are able to hold fiat in their hands are, most of them are poor. The people who have the most amount of so-called fiat don't touch the physical cash. They utilize it, but they don't touch it. The poorest people touch cash all day, every day, because it's spelled. It's meant to make you sick. It's spelled, and it has certain rituals and sigils on it that are intended to hurt and harm certain blood types and certain groups of people. So anyway, I'm sorry I went all over the place. I've got to go. But anyway, I will see many of you on Zoom tomorrow night. We're going to do a very special clearing. And I have a guest, so we're going to do a clearing tomorrow for our solar equinox, our spring equinox and our New Year's. So I'm going to wish everyone a happy, blissful New Year's coming in. I hope everyone is beautifully working on their gardens and really starting the process of, becoming truly sovereign, and, creating all the food and nourishment that they need. And all of those who are feeling unwell, I would just suggest that if you're not feeling good with food, is because food isn't what we were supposed to intend to eat all the time. I would suggest trying a intermittent fast or trying to remove food through forms of what we consider to be breatharianism, which takes a high amount of higher fielded minded wisdom and consciousness. But for those who are really feeling a certain way, I would just suggest definitely eating less. And people always think I eat all day. I don't. I tend to be affected by the magnetic field, and also being here in the United States. There's a lot of emission of radiation that's low field. So it does attack my adrenals as an O positive. So I do tend to bulk and gain a lot of liquid, which does protect me. And when I leave the United States, or when I go somewhere where there's a high index of radiation, my body goes back to normal. So it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, tell me how you feel. This wasn't to bark at you. I'm sorry I went all over the place. I love to interact with you, but let me go. Let me know. Is your stomach feeling funky? Are you able to digest food like you used to? Are you feeling like certain foods are toxic to you? Are your sleep patterns normal? Are you feeling like the context of the glasses that you're feeling like you take them off? Can you see better? Let's definitely, I always give you some theories that I have. Doesn't mean that it's real. It's the things that I notice speaking to a lot of people and being in the public eye. But by all means, I am always open and receptive to hearing your comments and your shares, because I think the only way that we know things is by having these conversations and vetting it out for ourselves. All right, y'all. So say no to Tesla technology. Make sure you aren't having that around you anywhere. And let me know if you have it around you. How do you feel overall? And we'll see. All right. Say no to grays. Wait, say zero to grays and just rebuke grays. How about that? I rebuke all grays. Overlay, interlay, spectray, interdimensional grays, holographic grays, homogenized grays. I reject and refute and rebuke them all. How about that? So I love you. I wish you well. I'm sorry it was so long-winded, and tell me if this was helpful. All right, y'all, I'm going to go. Peace.